Scene selection. Deciding which scenes you want to use in your final production can be a little bit trickier than it seems. We naively think that just because we've storyboarded that we'll have the perfect selection of clips to edit. But actually, once the shoot is complete, you'll realize that you've had to improvise and you've recorded things that you weren't expecting to record, and now you've got video content that you weren't expecting to see, but there it is, and you have to figure out how to edit it all together so it stays true to your narrative and helps you bring your message across. Keep in mind, when selecting from a set of scenes that have been shot at different angles, the composition and lighting of each scene will appear different. So when you're selecting a scene to edit, make sure you pick the one that has the highest light and sound and composition quality. Be sure to avoid using footage that is in any way corrupt. So avoid anything that's where the footage is shaky, or where the angles are weird that have cut off parts of people's body, or where the lighting is of poor quality. If sound is important to the video, make sure that it is clean and the delivery of the speaker is clear. As a side note, a challenge you might face when shooting scenes is that the idea you have of a scene in your mind might not appear the same way on camera, so the two don't always match. Shooting multiple sequences of the same scene from different angles helps in solving this issue, since if you realize that your original idea might not fit the editing, then you have a bigger selection of other scenes to choose from. So when it comes to selecting a scene, you have to keep in mind that when filming from different angles, the composition and lighting of the scenes might be slightly different. The light source comes from a different angle, which means that it spreads across the objects or subjects in your film in a different way. What that fundamentally means is that you might have to do some light and color correction through the clips to make the lighting look consistent. If color correction is something that you're not good at, then make sure that you choose clips that are very similar to each other. So that are similar to each other in terms of lighting and color. So that way you can reduce the amount of color correction that you have to do. If you're very lucky, you might have a series of sequences that are all qualitatively good. In that case, you will have to use your own judgment and creativity to decide which one conveys the message of your video better. But it might also happen that your overall footage might not be of the highest quality. For example, you filmed in a setting that has poor lighting or that is very noisy. In this case, prioritize the clips that aren't too terrible but contain all of your important messages. Remember, your video still has a purpose, and this purpose should be evident through the messages.